Welcome back, folks. The much anticipated jobs report came on Friday. It was released, and the numbers were pretty exciting. But before I go into that, please like, share, and subscribe. It's an appreciation of my efforts to bring you this information. So, with that said, let's get into the details. So, the jobs report came back at 4.2% unemployment ratio, which is better than July, which was 4.3%. So what that means is in August 2024, we added 142,000 more jobs versus August 2023 of last year, year over year. The estimated projections were 165,000 jobs, but it didn't meet the expectations, but came back at 142,000 jobs. 4.2% unemployment is still better than 5% or above, because if the unemployment rate goes above 5%, the Fed considers that a serious sign of recession. So that was good, but at the same time, it shows that the economy is beginning to slow down and the Fed needs to do something. Now, the pressure is on Fed to lower the interest rate. That's a done deal now. On September 18th, when they meet, it's a done deal. They are going to reduce interest rates, but the question is how much. So the pressure now on the Fed is, instead of doing a 0.25% interest rate cut, which is very typical with Fed because Fed is a very conservative body, people are pushing for a 0.50% interest rate cut. And the reasoning behind that is that the Fed should have cut interest rates back in July, that they're way behind the eight ball, so they should make up and compensate for their inaction. They should have taken action in July, so they should go for 0.50% interest rate cut. Right now, about 60% of the people are saying that the Fed should go for 0.50% rate cut in the September meeting. About 40% are voting for the Fed to cut 0.25%. Between now and September 18th, the only biggest thing that remains, or anything that can make a difference, is the CPI inflation report that gets released, I believe, next Wednesday, a few days before the Federal Reserve meeting. So let's see how that comes. So with that said, let me share some charts with you that I have prepared. One is the unemployment rate, seasonally adjusted, from August 22 till August 24. As you see that the unemployment rate has been steadily rising. This goes very much in line with how inflation is controlled. And we all know that when inflation is high, employment is high. So the way to control inflation, to bring inflation down, is to take measures to increase the unemployment. That sounds cold and brutal, but this is how the Fed has been doing this for so many decades. To lower inflation, the unemployment rate must go up. So as you can see from over the last, since August 2022, the unemployment rate has been going up. Another way to look at it is this next chart that I've put together is the unemployment rate going back to August 2004. The red arrows are pointing at the gray shaded areas where we have serious recession, one in 2008. For those of you who recall, that time was a very recessionary period. And you notice the recession, the shaded areas, the unemployment rate goes up. Again, around COVID, August 2020. And there's another gray shaded area when unemployment went through the roof. That was also a recessionary period. And then after August 2020, as the unemployment rate came down, more and more people had jobs, they had good employment, so did the rise in inflation took place. So once again, as the unemployment goes down, inflation goes up because more people have jobs, they have more money to spend. With that said, I also wanted to cover a lot of my clients are in the Texas area and the Houston area. So I wanted to cover some information about Houston, some of the surrounding counties. So there's some really interesting data that I think you'll really enjoy what I'm about to share with you. So the first one is the employment rate in Houston versus the US national average. And you see that since 2021, Houston has always fared better than the US average when it comes to employment. In 2022, 2023, even in July of 2024, Houston still continues to beat the nation in employment averages. How does that compare to our different counties around the Houston area? You see the unemployment in the United States has been at a 3.8%, but in Harris County, it's 4.9%. Fort Bend County unemployment rate is 4.5%, which is better than Harris County. It's not as good as versus last year, because if you look at the lightly blue shaded bars, that's how these averages were a year before. So a year before, Fort Bend County was at 4.2% unemployment. Now it's at 4.5% unemployment. And let's look at some of the sectors that are showing changes or something to note. So in the Houston area, the employment from 2023 to 2024, construction has shown a positive improvement in employment. If you're in the government, that's 4.7% improvement. Now, if you're in IT, information technology, from 2023 to 2024, it has been a decline of employment in the information technology. So if you are in the information technology industry and you are in the Houston area, be super nice to your employer. Whatever they ask you to do, just do it, because this is not the time to have an ego and make the wrong decisions. Times change, it's a continuous loop. What goes up must come down. What is down today must go up tomorrow. So if you're in IT, be super nice to your boss. Now, if you're in construction or if in a government job, you can do whatever you want, because they're showing increased employment. So with that said, we'll stay tuned, and we'll bring you more relevant information as it becomes available. And once again, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.